What's going on? It's Joe from Home Studio Corner. After a couple of weeks off for Christmas and just to spend time with the family, I am back and I'm ready to keep pumping out good videos for you. So comment, let me know what you want to see. I've got a lot of ideas, but I always defer to you. So here's the thing. They say there's no such thing as a stupid question. And that's mostly true. But there is such a thing as the wrong question. If you want to get better answers, if you're frustrated about where you are with your music and your studio and what you're doing really in life, if you're not getting the answers you want, you need to ask better questions. And there's one question that is super important, and I bet you're not asking it. But first, let me show you something cute. Okay, as you may know, I have twin 5-year-old daughters, and over Christmas break, they wrote a couple of books. And they're ridiculously cute. This one is, I think, by Maggie. It's called The Magic Wand. I just want to show you, just real quickly, there's a point to this, I promise. Look at how she spells things. She's in kindergarten, they're just learning how to spell things phonetically. There was a boy outside walking. There was a girl that picked a wand. The next morning, she picked her favorite dress on, and then she put her favorite shoes on, and they all had fun. And the end. Okay, then this one, I think Lila did this one. The princess marries the boy. So those are actually all spelled right. There was a princess in the palace. She was, can you see that? Excited. That's how they say excited. Excited. And then it goes on. She took a walk. I think she married the guy. They drove places. Somebody broke their arm. They ate food. They slept in separate beds. They ate more food. And then there's a Chiquita banana sticker. So what does this have to do with you? There's a point here. If you're asking questions like, how do I get the best drum mix? What's the best mic for vocals? How do I mix bass? They're not bad questions. In my opinion, they're the wrong questions. It would be like you saying to me, how do I write a book? The question makes sense. It's a reasonable question, but it's not the right question. I encountered this all the time back when I worked at Sweetwater. Someone would call up and say, what's your best price on this microphone? And I would say, okay, let me look that up. What are you going to use it for? And there were more. You'd be surprised how many times they didn't really know everything they needed to know about that particular piece of equipment. There was one person I remember, he wanted the best price on a Neumann U87, which is a $2,000-$3,000, maybe more, microphone. And as I was looking it up and asking him questions, which people get annoyed with, but you'll see why it's important, come to find out, all he had was a laptop. And he was wanting to plug the U87, this really fancy Neumann microphone, into the 1/8-inch jack on his laptop. So we had to have a whole discussion of maybe we need to take a few steps back. Might not be ready for a U87 because you don't have anything to plug it into. So in the world of selling things, questions are really important. They sometimes annoy the customer, but if you're a good salesperson, you're trying to get to the heart of the problem and figure out what is actually the best solution. Not the solution that makes me the most money. I could have said, hey, I can give you a deal on that U87, ship it out, make a few $100 on commission maybe, and be done with it. But then I would not have served him well. I don't even think that guy ever bought anything from me. I gave up a sale because it was the right thing to do. So this isn't about me, this is about you. So you have the question, how do I write a book? Well, the follow-up question would be, what kind of book do you want to write? Do you want to write a cookbook? That's going to be different than if you're writing a novel or some sort of nonfiction or a children's book with a bunch of drawings in it. Imagine my girls come home, they bring this home, they show it to me, and I say, oh, I get out my red pen, say, oh, Lila, you misspelled this, that's not how that's spelled, the drawings aren't, they're not, you colored outside the lines, and the lines aren't as straight as they need to be. This is poor work for a professional author. It would be ridiculous, right? But for some reason, We folks in the audio world will see a video of a famous mix engineer showing us his latest mix trick. And those are great. I'm not against those at all. I obviously make YouTube videos as well. But we see these really talented, really successful professional recording and mix engineers doing their thing, and then we want to mimic that and reproduce those same results in our studios. Then, if we don't get those results, oftentimes we beat ourselves up. Whether we know it or not, we're like the dad who says, honey, this isn't professional work. If you want the same results as those big-named engineers, have you put in the same amount and kind of work that they have? Behind every successful Grammy-winning engineer are hundreds and thousands of songs that they've done over probably decades of a career. And so for you and I to come in and say, well, I got some equipment and I watched some videos, why am I not getting the same results? And to assume that it should just come easily, it's a bit misguided. It's like telling Lila that she misspelled the words and she's in kindergarten. Am I implying that it's impossible to get good sounding recordings in a home studio? No. Am I saying that you have to spend decades before you get anything that's good? No. But what I am saying is you need to ask a better question. And the better question is, what do you want? Now, let's just assume that to make better music or to make great sounding music is the ultimate thing that we want. That's a given. That's almost not worth mentioning because that doesn't really do anything for us. What do you want next? If the goal is to be making great music, what's the next thing that you can do? What's the next thing that you want to do in order to be able to make that great music that you want to make? Here's an easy one. If you've never finished a song in your studio, or you've never finished an EP, or you've never put out any music to the world, that should be your next thing. That should be the thing you're saying, what do I want next? I want to finish a song or finish an EP. There is nothing like finishing projects to improve your skill and to take you farther down the path of becoming what you want to become. A great example is Home Studio Corner. I started it 10 years ago. In 2009, I put up my first YouTube video and started writing articles and doing YouTube videos. Imagine if instead of putting those videos out, I decided, doggone it, I'm gonna study content marketing and video making. And let's say I studied those things for the next 10 years and I got really well informed and educated on what it means to create videos, to make them compelling, to make them affect the change that you want to make in the world, to get people to sign up for an email list or to buy a product from you or to do some other thing. Do you think after 10 years of research that my first video was going to knock it out of the park? No. I've gotten good at making videos and I'm constantly trying to improve. And the only way I've been able to get good and improve is by releasing, at this point, well over 1,000 videos over the last decade. I've made videos for YouTube. I've made videos for the different courses that I have, for dueling mixes, for my VIP membership. I've done podcasts. I've just done a lot of work. And it's not that I worked on them, I finished them and I put them out to the world. And that's how I've improved as a content creator. It's also how I've improved as a musician. All the EPs and albums and singles that I've released over the years, each time I go through that process, I get a little bit better. And there's no other way to do it. You don't wake up one day and say, I am going to be a Grammy-winning engineer on this next project. It just doesn't happen. You build one brick at a time, step by step, and you get a little better and a little better and a little better. And it's fun the entire process. It's not that you don't have fun until you get way up here. The entire thing is a blast. What makes it not fun is when you don't know what you want. You think you can get here when you have to go over here first before you can get there. And then you're frustrated because you're not doing the thing you want to do. You get bogged down in technology and mixing tips and hacks, and you're not making music. You got into this to make music, so let's make 2019 about making music. What do you want? It's worth sitting down and asking yourself that question for a little bit. I think you'd be surprised what you find out, and it might help motivate you and direct you in the right direction of where you want to go. Thanks so much for watching this video. If this was encouraging to you, I got a question. Who do you know that would find this video encouraging as well? Who needs a nudge in the right direction? If somebody pops to your mind, take just a second, copy the link to this video, and send it to them. or tag them below in a comment, or however you want to do it. Share this video with somebody who could use a little bit of an encouragement and a little bit of a nudge to ask better questions, to figure out what they want, and to make some good music in 2019. See ya.